I'm so sorry. Please excuse the noise in the background. I'm really was trying to. I'm not embarrassed or anything, but record a video to just update you guys again. Here we are now. Hello again. Um, I kind of just really I wrote down some stuff, so just to not really get too caught up in it emotionally, honestly. But also, I will forget what I'm going to say sometimes because I guess just the bio. Hi, I'm Jade, but I really never wanted to be like a YouTuber per se because it's never not wasn't. I mean, I'm interested in it, not just like it's something I'm passionate about, and I was trying to figure out the words for it mainly. Um, Excuse my accent because mainly that's probably why. Also, mostly because you can tell where I'm from. It's pretty much really cool to see uh, after quarantines. You know, everybody's just it's a whole different ball game now. So it's pretty cool. So I just kind of really wanted to start out with this not having like just a straight up script. Since I'd rather do this in one go and forget about it so I can just move on and go hang out with my nephews. I don't know. Um, Spend time with my family and stuff like that. But I'd rather just do that and not forget about it, but just move on. Um, it just really sucks, and there's nowhere to really start or begin anywhere without it. Um, Going right into it, pretty much. Unfortunately, it just almost feels like there's never really a good time to address it, especially this topic because nobody likes to hear it. And someone that's gone through it, it's just opening up all of those inflicted mental scars. Unfortunately, physical for a lot as well, but I'm sure you can visualize that. Um, Looking back at the couple of videos, I have a pretty much like the couple videos I posted. It was not only cringe, but also just to bring awareness. I remember that was my intent, but if anybody sees this, just don't give up and hoorah and all that good stuff. It's mainly just bring awareness to the situation as well because at that time, where I'm from, clearly, I'm sure of you, so a lot of you, some of you, have heard of the man named Roy Moore and his attempt to run for Senate in 2017. So, interestingly enough, things kind of started to become a little bit linear as that timeline happened. And unfortunately, I am from that state, and thankfully, yeah, I've met one of his victims personally. Yeah, like she is old enough to be my mother, and I held a personal conversation. I'm not defending or starting anything kind of rant wise. Anyway, it was interesting, but anyway, for that to be said, kind of, it's I just really don't want to start a political debate, honestly. But especially just for the feeling, most of all, after I've kind of put something out there of like, because I'm awkward, clearly. Another little fun fact is clearly I'm kind of a gamer, video gamer, but tinfoil hat, let's go. And I love just watching mysteries, creepy theories, scary things, anything other than that once I'm getting kind of bored of it. Really like to kind of learn stuff too, also mostly probably just about history and anything like that, so anyway, enough with that. Um, I just never really wanted to call myself a YouTuber because I really am self-conscious of my accent, but also it's a journey to learn something like that for sure. Like I really respect it, and that's pretty much what I'm trying to say. So, um, just to make sure I don't get lost. So, I just wanted to have that feeling that somebody would come across the video that I posted about 3 years ago. At this point, and just like hopefully that'll help somebody that just might be happening to go through it. I don't know. I've always loved to just do time capsule things, like when it comes to like personal things like photos and like especially lame things like Facebook and memories, and be like, I cannot believe I posted that when I was in high school. Of I can't wait to go play Halo Reach, and I got an A on my government test. So that's just how I am, and I'm sitting here thinking like I just not trying to feel old, but yeah, I'm sentimental in that type of aspect. Anyway, uh, it's really hard to just go about this in general because it's not only after looking back at the previously posted couple of videos. Hey, I can't talk, and really noticed how I was really trying to hide behind a fake smile, and you could totally notice it, I'm sure, but especially going about it like that, I was really trying to just hide behind a fake smile for the most part. It's really easy for me to get caught up in it emotionally, but looking back at how much of the amount of positivity I put into like presenting myself, it just where it felt like it became too like a sense of denial. That's really not how I want to go about it, basically. So, um, I really don't like, but it also really sucks to just talk about these kind of topics over the internet, but thankfully it's kind of become a little bit more something that's not uncommon to talk about anymore over the internet. But it's a horrible idea sometimes that we can all really agree on, pretty much. I mean, in general, yeah, but um, it's really just kind of like the purpose also just to help bring awareness, help someone out, hopefully in the future, but just like a smoke signal down the road, also in the words of a time capsule, of like, hey, you're not the only one, like SOS, don't worry, pretty much. The only way I can release any pain throughout this, so someone knows that they're not alone. Um, I've always kind of just like, so I guess since also another fun fact throughout this too, just kind of make it a little bit less sad. I took theater, so for any kind of expression, especially emotional, it seems in my case, acting and uh, I love being on a movie set. It's awesome. Uh, I just don't want to get too far in about what, yeah. Anyway, and I've always had like a very upbeat. I'm ready to go just snatch him up. Poor nephew crying. Uh, I've always tried to be very upbeat about wanting everybody to feel that same way. I guess that's the way to put it. My heart was full, and as a child, we're all thankfully we're fortunate enough to experience that. Even while growing up, not really considered by status quo as even middle class, honestly, just lower than that. I'm still grateful that I got to have a snippet of happiness So I kind of know what it is and it's like, so I can go after that same feeling. And just also in regards to all of those reasons for this video, um, for any person like me in this situation, or anyone for that matter that doesn't really also feel understood, as much as they pretty much deteriorate, I would say, because that's how it feels. Their spirit to just exhibit their intent. Whether it just be good or bad, it's up to them, but I wanted to choose this route, at least knowing, like, it's being watched, at least. And that's the main purpose of this video, just, you're watching it, and hopefully there's a message to be understood, that there's a lot of things that are ignored on a daily basis, good or bad. In this case, yeah, this is what I'm about to address. So, the other purpose is just getting right into it. And the other is mostly self-explanatory, but to give insight, it's disgusting, downright deplorable. I still agree with that, honestly, but yeah, it's atrocity. Mostly an atrocity to our future generations to come, without there being politics much involved in this. Not trying to keep involving that, so that's what I'm really worried about. I honestly wouldn't care less about, and this is where, yeah, I'm not afraid to show emotion, because clearly I took theater. Different things happening around as I speak right now. After this video, it's going to be funny to look back and think, dude, just be honest. That's always just me. When I'm put on the spot, it's I try really hard to not just, I mean, it's easy. You want to cry. You gotta cry. It's just bad. I don't try to dwell on it either. It's just really, mainly, I guess, my way of not able to probably ever understand how people can do this and it be ignored. And also something that's regarded as not as something pretty much serious. As much as I kind of sound sarcastic, I feel, in those other earlier videos too, you gotta be real about it, and this is as real as I am, honestly, even off camera. And that being said, I really could care less, honestly. I remember that this is kind of where throughout the journey of this essay lawsuit, poor buddy, I was really just screamed at over the phone by somebody that was a regional manager, or is a regional manager, not was. I don't know what's up with that right now, but anyway, up to now, currently. At that time, I was sitting in my car because I was eating at a restaurant at the time, so I had to step out and it was raining. So I just remember those because it caught me off guard. I didn't expect a phone call from this person, and yeah. But I was basically screamed at, and that's fine. I mean, you guys probably hear it anyway, but not in a good or bad way. It's really, I just remember sitting there, listening, as I'm being told, I'm not going to get the strong arm on this one, but he's yelling it at me. You're not getting the strong arm on this one. So, I had no words, first of all. I was speechless, but also kind of like, this sucks, dude. And I really hate, like, most of all, people that have gone through worse. I'm so sorry, deeply. I truly hope and am so proud for those that have. I hope there's some help out there. And if this serves some purpose for that, then that's a win to me, honestly. So, just to pretty much give you guys, that's an update. Yeah, the case did not win. So, pretty sure you guys can kind of take an educated guess. And I'm trying to make sure I'm not getting lost. But yeah, I got screamed at because I was asking about my wage at the time. This is way before anything really bad happened. Of why I was getting paid minimum wage and still working as a manager, assistant general manager in that sense of where this job was at. And I wanted to take that position to mainly just become a little bit more, skilled in that department in case I need that expertise, knowledge in the future. Like, anyway. I wasn't being, Karen, but, I wasn't getting the direct answer I was not hoping or wanting to hear for, but, I was asking if I may speak with somebody from payroll to get what I didn't know at the time even meant was retroactive pay. And I know I'm being watched right now, so to them it's alligator tears, but it sucks that, some people are definitely, and that's acceptable to not be comfortable with showing this type of emotion. I truly have always felt since I was a kid, I'm not really inclined to show my not wanting to show my emotions because it's what's the point if somebody can't read your mind? And I kind of already understood that at a young age. Like, I'm very quiet, dorky, gamer, as you can tell, but from the fun fact laundry list so far anyway. Yeah, yeah. I You would think I'm awkward. It's 50-50. This just I need to just get rid. Anyway, for that time also as well, I was not getting paid what I was promised as working as a manager, assistant general manager for this company, and I had the store key. I was sending people home, running shifts. Everything to my knowledge was basically to put into like just a short summary, sake brevity. It's just do what you're told as a manager. You take a course, and that's it. If you pass it, you don't. You use that information as you will on a daily basis, but that's for the ones that really actually want to use it, if you know what I mean. So, some people, I chose to try to keep notes of it because I'm like, I'm going to forget this. It's accessible as a program from home as well. Also, if this is the type of workplace where people can easily work, that not only just having that as an excuse or a crutch that you got a lot of things going on in your life, things like that, but sometimes they just really don't care because they're teenagers and they're in high school most of the time anyway. So from there on, you can kind of guess. It's like a pizza place. So I'm not saying it's not to be taken seriously. Of course, this is. So, why already? I'm trying not to jump ahead, but why is that not taken as seriously? Just in general, I'm just asking. But before I get any more ahead, I knew that I wanted to do this mainly with the intent of, even though it's not going to be watched by a lot of people, I know it probably might, good or bad, either way, hopefully good. Um, I'm trying to figure out where I was just at. It's something I was trying to refer back to from earlier that I noticed I missed, and things that are being ignored on a daily basis. I probably already mentioned that already. Anyway, so I'll skip a little bit ahead on that one. I really, I, I don't really want to put some crazy filter edit over this or anything. I'm just throwing this out, and it's a message in a bottle. So, um, most of us really kind of just pretty much have a preference nowadays for our news outlets. That's my next thing I was going to say. So, thankfully, from how we've been in quarantine, I've noticed that Lacey Skulls from Rock of Love, if she ever sees this, I love you. I'm sorry I hated you when I was like 12. I was kind of scared, but now you're like pretty much my idol, and I really respect the fact that you got the balls to have that much confidence, and I really look up to that as a 27-year-old, which isn't really make a difference, but as a late bloomer, I guess, trying to debut as a young woman, things like that, confidence wasn't something I severely lacked, but always felt I was too scared to show because I knew it would intimidate people. Um, so just to mention, though, Lacey Skulls from Rock of Love, as any you can probably guess, but those that don't know, just kind of just stating this, though, this is something that not a lot of people really pay attention to what's going on. If she points out, because nowadays she's doing podcasts and she's doing really well for herself, and just like working a career is basically being herself as an artist, and that's awesome. If she is somebody that's from California and can just simply go into Google and type in what she's looking for, in this case, Roy Moore, basically explained it to the T. I'm just kind of speechless sitting there and wondering, this is insane. Not a lot of people really, yeah, anyway, it's outrageous. It's the, yeah. She's, yeah, this, she's really down to earth and she's really cool, and I feel like you guys really check her out if you really want to go watch something kind of like this. She's got some videos just like this as well, so, but mostly like for the entertainment part, yeah, you can kind of tell that she interviews other contestants and things like that. So, uh, I just happened to come across her. I was really, or that video. I happened to come across the video. I was searching like what's she up to. I wonder what kind of stuff she's doing. Like I want to listen to her music and stuff. And then that's when I stumbled across the video of her addressing this similar issue, and excuse me, she addressed that that what happened in 2017. Weirdly enough, that was right as things had started for me as assistant general manager working for minimum wage for 2 months, almost 40 hours. Anyway, yeah, typical manager hours. Yeah, was correlated. It was weird. I just felt like that was kind of a really odd, strange thing. But all this at least I've discovered a channel out of absolutely randomness from Lacey. I accidentally discovered. Um, she really specifically addresses, and she's very concisely describing exactly to the T, as if she lived here. That's what I'm trying to kind of also make a point. Not a lot of people pay attention in a not in a bad way or saying wake up. Um, do a Google search. See who owns what, who's in charge of you, I guess, basically, or where you're living. Things like that. That can affect you. You should probably check up on that just in general. I'm at fault for it. I'm not going to lie. I have a more imaginative side to me. I get lost in playing video games, but also I love to write things too, I guess. So, whether, fun fact. But also, like, looking back at my previous videos, I remember I was really, really vividly remember terrified to make a video, and just even really do it. Like, sitting here right now, I really didn't even want to do this, but I knew I had to. I wanted to, because this, pretty much, I found this out yesterday, that it did not go in favor, which is fine. Fair enough. Um, I'm not mad about it. Yeah. It just made me think that also, yeah, it made me notice if we can't share anything that's bothering us, maybe like thousands, billions of others as well too, then how are we going to progress at all in some sort of way before I get any further? The unacceptable behavior. Let's start with that. That is just a downright precedent. Is not cool, not okay, pretty much. Um, You'll have to excuse me. I'm exhausted. My voice is probably really shot. Really try to remember just hiding behind my smile as best as I could. Sorry. Everything that I discussed felt like it was not really being treated with much consideration at that time making those videos. I should have put, as I was in shock. I just remember I felt uncomfortable knowing that whether it be positive or negative, there will be a response. And sure enough, um, from beforehand, also hoping that it would bring more awareness, letting people notice the behavioral patterns so that you can see it and call it out. Um, people start just going through this enduring how I put insurmountable like myriad of pain. That's all I can really first of all describe it. If you and I asked if you still there okay, yeah, if you still know anybody, especially, that's really one of the main things. Yeah, if you still know anybody or yourself as well going through that similar situation, I just kind of like wanted to remind you or whoever comes across this that has gone through disgusting behavior, uh, atrocities of all sorts when it comes to SA in the workplace, you're not alone. That's the main thing I wanted to also mention. The petition that I made, I want to point out, 3 years ago, was probably, I really wasn't sure, but I'll link it in the description, but also as well too. Don't be afraid to leave a comment if whatever you feel like it, I guess. But also, if you want to just use this as like a little anonymous bulletin board to use, share what you've been through. I don't want to, it's not something somebody's excited to read, but in all unity going here, we've got to really kind of just notice there's a similarity within everybody's, not stories, but sentiments. Um, yeah, I'll leave the petition in the description, whatever. And to this day, I'm still getting signatures, though. It's pretty insane. Last one was December something. Last year, still, even though we're in January 2022. And it's just the testaments, basically just describing the same thing. It's one commonality I've noticed, that it's ignored or covered up. And the one thing I will say that, especially the ones watching this, I guess, with negative intent, I just want to thank you for giving so much confidence. I thought I never had the threshold to even fathom I had. Thank you for reminding me to never stop giving up. I appreciate, after this incredibly awful situation, the duration is also enough to drive anyone crazy and mad in the least bit sense. Not me. It was easy as it is to stay patient through it as it was. That ultimately coming down to it, it's really not easy. And I don't want to be cheesy, but it's not easy. To gain any hope from the situation, I'm just yearning that this brings more attention and awareness that not only am I the only one either, but people need to be held accountable for this. At least responsible at some point. Even if not that, some type of not radical, but reform, change in the way policies are being handled when people go through this and try to make it be heard. And the people that are told to us that we know they hear us, or they're there to hear us, say that. Doesn't feel that way. Sorry. If this gets taken down by YouTube, whatever. Anyway. Just as a gamer, I guess, yeah, also, and pretty much what's been going on with Blizzard and all that. I really supported them because I played their games since I was 13 till today. And it's pretty much as till fully a grown adult since I was 13. It's also disappointing seeing that happen, as this was happening too, from this lawsuit. It feels like you can try as much as you can, but there will be steps taken that will either be retaliating to just retaliation or to make you want to give up and go silent. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Things were not that different a few years ago, but still very detrimental in some ways when it was the typical response of a woman wearing a certain outfit and something happens and that's responded with, oh, she was asking for it because of the way she dressed. In that sort of sense. That wasn't that very much long ago. It wasn't that uncommon to think that way. But it feels like yesterday. With as much time has passed, still not that much. But that's kind of also like a little realization as we get older. That's a bad sign. Uh, the general consensus of these incidents happening usually, oh yeah, it's usually with that same response. In some way, thankfully, the whole thing has made me completely a different person for the better because I want to look at it that way. But it's also a win to me that after just making a petition, it clearly caught your attention. Being a 20 something year old, no clue about myself. Like most 18-year-olds in my, like the millennial generation never really knew what exactly the majority of us didn't know what to really pursue after high school. Some did, luckily enough, but anyway, I have no clue really about myself in general, but it was really enough to catch the attention and another little sign to show you that if, I don't know, the facts honestly haven't really cared to look that much into it just to try to erase it as much as I can out of my mind, but $1 billion company responds to something small like a little petition. Some little girl from Alabama. That's pretty crazy. I don't know, what'd you think? But yeah, for that step, first step to really be taken, that was alone, literally by myself, and to pretty much kind of close this video here. Uh, the years I was pretty much robbed from my personal life. Like right now, I'm doing this, and thankfully I can. Thankfully, I can kind of look forward to the future now for what things are to come. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I can never get those 4 or 5 years back. I felt like I was robbed of just being happy because I was told I was no fun. Because I wouldn't stand up for inappropriate things happening in front of me because nobody else would say anything about it either. Feeling incredibly misunderstood, just not only expectedly from your friends, but also surprisingly by your family, is really hard to stay strong, most of all, throughout this. Basically, trying to hold on to those things I wanted to pursue previously before this just happened. And I had to really put all those things on pause, which is fun because I had a lot on my plate from that lawsuit and the things that happened from it. Since I'm not trying to get lost in the years of it. Really feels like equivalent to somebody smoking like as many cigarettes it takes to lose that many years of your life. Life isn't fair, and sometimes it feels like also doing the right thing isn't fair. It's most amount of matter. mind over matter. To give myself hope is the last thing I would do. It would be the last thing I would do. After today, think about how many people right now could be also right now like doing something astronomical, beyond astronomical scale. When it comes to unity, we're all going through the same thing basically. As an aunt, I'd like to ponder the thought of our future. This is the part I was really not looking forward to. As an aunt, I'd like to ponder the thought of our future in a positive way as a society to a whole. To think about the steps we need to take, at least to what resources we have that's left. And by leading by example, please do not hesitate to use your voice, especially when your gut is telling you. The instinct. You could save someone years of suffering. You could help someone, save someone years of, emotional pain beyond repair. Also making it a precedent to call things out when it's needed, as they are ignored, silenced, or even completely removed from the job. Just beyond those things somebody can endure, ultimately, that decision, whether it be them or somebody else. That being said, people that are watching this and possibly experiencing maybe the same, or you might know somebody that is, just leave a comment, whatever. But this is mainly what I want to say. It's, feel free to leave a comment and share. But also, please be the change that we need right now. I'm asking, at least after also losing my house, or the apartment that I shared with my mother, because I was raised by a single mother. But anyway, I have an older sister, and she had already moved out by that time. But working and living with my mother. So throughout that process of being retaliated against, I had also lost so many hours I was able to keep up helping paying rent, and we almost could not find a place to live, as I had also just adopted a shelter dog to kind of emotionally keep myself occupied, because that gives me a lot of satisfaction of, dogs are cool, yeah, but, yeah, and I have a very big heart anyway, I guess. I've been on my knees just pretty much begging through this, and it's been an excruciating process. If I cannot change someone's mind towards an act that was committed, I can at least help you or someone else that's watching this, that has probably gone through the same. Stay strong and know you're not alone. And to move on at this point, I'm not really sure what I can do, but besides the first step right now is to just take care of myself and go hang out with my nephew. And the one that walked in earlier, sorry about that, that was one of my nephews. They were curious to see what I was doing, but Um, I'm not sure if this hopefully might be the last update. I'm sure it will. But I really just wanted people to just see like I'm pretty comfortable sharing my feelings on my sleeve, and I understand what feedback might come back from this, and it's totally fine. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. So, with that being said, stay strong. Love you guys. See you.